Was available.
That's a good question.
Well, yeah, I was sitting here thinking, I thought, I don't know why they chose that one.
Susan,
No.
you can ask that.
Okay. How did you decide upon the Flater house?
Well, that's a very interesting question, because once we got the museum incorporated, we knew we had to have some place to show the things that we felt very confident we were going to get. And we took a trip to Upper Sandusky in early 1970, because Upper Sandusky's museum was kind of situated right downtown in a house, and we liked the idea of a house. And I guess on the way back we did a lot of talking in the cars, and we felt that was a good idea, and where was a logical house? Well, as it would have it, right at that time, the Flater house, as it's called now, happened to be I think it was the district headquarters of the United Brethren Church. And the United Brethren Church was in the process of merging with the Methodist Church. And according to the contract, if the house were sold before July 1 of that year, the funds went to the United Brethren Church. It was theirs, they got to keep it, the money, or if it was later, then it would go to the merged church, the Methodists. Well, I think the original purchase price, or the offering price, was $64,000, and that was pretty steep. We didn't have any money anyhow. We were going to have to raise it, but through the work primarily of Ed Heminger and Jack Harrington, the price got reduced to, I think it was $24,000. And we beat the deadline, so the EUBs got the money. We borrowed the money as a corporation from the then, I think it was the Fifth Third Bank, but both Ed and Jack, who were the primary businessmen in Findlay then of our group, had also signed the note on a personal basis guaranteeing it. That's how the whole Flater house came into existence. Also, one of the reasons that we liked the house was the fact it had been used as an office, and the space was really somewhat conducive to a museum, and plus the fact that Judge Chester Pendleton, who was a neighbor of the Hemingers, of Ed and his parents for years, had a very, very fine collection of art glass, and he was also a member of this historical society, and we asked him to take a look at the house, and he felt it would work. And he also said if we got that house, that the Pendletons would donate all the glass, that art glass, to help us start our collection. So those were the reasons we got that house.
Could you tell me a little about the glass theft?
Well, the glass theft, of course, took place after the museum got opened, and in the planning stages and the early construction stages, we of course built or had built a case for all of this glass. And I can't recall exactly how long the museum had been open when this event occurred. But what happened, there was painting going on in the house, getting ready for some displays. And it turned out that the painter also liked the glass. I guess to make a long story short, even though we thought we had the house adequately prepared for break-ins, they broke one of the windows and came in and took about half of the glass, which was an enormous amount, really, if you've seen the museum, and disappeared. The next morning, we, of course, the burglar alarms apparently didn't alert anybody. They were not sure whether they went off or not. But the next morning, a next door neighbor noticed that the curtains were kind of flying out the window a little bit, and it kind of was a dead giveaway. And she called me. I was working at Marathon then, and said she thought somebody ought to come down and look. And all of us had keys. I was about to go into a meeting, and I said, I can't come. I called Ed, and he went down and found that we had really been broken into and looted. And then the story gets quite interesting. To make a long story short, the perpetrators contacted us in a kind of roundabout way, and one night Harold Corbin, in the dark of night, had to meet one of them up on the roof of the parking garage here in Findlay to kind of negotiate. And we did have insurance, and they kind of worked out a deal. If we paid the insurance, or if we could get the insurance, they literally were saying that we'll get your glass back for, I think it was $10,000. And that's just happened to be what the insurance was too. Well, the insurance company agreed to pay it. And then after some kind of roundabout ways, we were advised that to go to a certain spot out north at a certain time, and the glass would be there. Now, the money had to be delivered, and it was, and that's got another story that should be told separately. But again, the final end of the story was the glass was returned, all but one piece. And we figured that they must have kept it for a souvenir. And the ladies who were associated at the museum then washed and rewashed all the glass and put it back in the case where it came from. And the one who was the contact from the perpetrators turned state's evidence and squealed on the other one. The first one got off scot-free and got to keep the money, and the other one spent some time in the Ohio Penitentiary. So that's a quick story of the glass theft. Mr. Ed Heminger tells the story beautifully, already on film, I know, and it's well documented in the archives of the museum. That's the way I remember it.